Are we alone in space? This is a question most people have been thinking about at one time or another. One key set of scientific facts is an intriguing question. If aliens visited the Earth and learned all about us, would they be surprised if such a wide spectrum of species share a common genetic code? Or this would be too familiar? What if the key to solving all the mysteries is actually a man? That is us. Our DNA. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a very interesting topic to talk about, so sit back and enjoy the video. There is probable reason to assume that the structure of genetic material is the same throughout the universe, and although it can lead to non-terrestrial life forms, the diversity of species is basically limited by constraints built into the genetic mechanism. References to our genetic structure have been a feature among stellar messages from the very beginning. If one day we develop technology that will help us discover other intelligent life forms, maybe a visit will happen that will solve the issue once and for all. But again, maybe the aliens have already been here in the past. If that is the case, maybe they left encrypted information somewhere announcing their presence, waiting for us to become advanced enough to find them and correctly interpret their meaning. If the aliens left behind some hidden but deciphered evidence of their existence to test our intelligence and level of scientific progress, maybe they left it in the cells of our body, in our DNA, the ultimate building block of life on Earth. Some researchers believe that data that reveal the truth about our origins and our connection to extraterrestrial life can actually be found by searching inside. They claim that human beings were created as biological mirrors of our ancestors, a superior alien civilization that paved the way for our existence millions of years ago. This is of course a provocative thesis. If true, it would give a whole new meaning to the biblical phrase, "Because you were created in my image." According to this scenario, the voice of God could actually be the voice of a genius from another planet. We might expect the discussion of such a concept to be limited to the fringes of an alternative science milieu, or to be involved in the action of a science fiction show or film. But surprisingly, the idea is taken seriously in at least one bastion of major astronomical science. Physicist Vladimir Skrbek and astrobiologist Maxim Mikukov are convinced that our genetic code was constructed by beings from another stellar system. These founders may have done so directly while they were here hundreds of millions of years ago. Or they may have sent a signal full of information into space that has reached Earth and somehow triggered changes in our DNA. Or perhaps they sowed our planet from space with alien material that evolved elsewhere, probably on their planet of origin. The last thesis is known as panspermia and has attracted the support of some influential scientists, including Francis Crick, co-discoverer of DNA molecules. Mikukov and Skrbek believe that this is the most likely alternative and that our creators deliberately chose the Earth as the landing site for their genetic burden. When corrected, the cipher and our DNA could remain unchanged in cosmological timeframes. Therefore, it is an extremely reliable store for intelligent signatures. Mikukov and Skrbek say human DNA looks like it was created with mathematical precision. Simple code layouts reveal a set of arithmetic and ideographic patterns of symbolic language. Moreover, it involves the use of decimal notation and logical transformations that are point and systematic. In support of their theory, Mikukov and Skrbek observed a specific repetitive numerical pattern in the human genetic code, carefully observing the various mathematical relationships, fractions, and constants that appear in human bottom calculations and measurements. They discovered several cases in which the number 37 seems to play a prominent role. In their research, the scientists listed 9 cases in which the number 37 could be performed by performing a calculation in some way related to the chemical structure of the bottom, and calculated the chances that this would happen randomly from 10 trillion to 1. In the last few decades, biologists have sequenced the genomes of thousands of species, including humans. These are actually blueprints for the species, but we are just beginning to learn how to read code. Sufficiently advanced alien intelligence may have developed genetic engineering to the point where genomes are equivalent to an excellent computer program, which would allow the mind to artificially recreate humans and other terrestrial species in its own laboratories. This assumes that aliens are made of the same genetic thing as life on planet Earth, but this may not be as big an assumption as it seems at first glance. In a way, it would be almost unsettling to make contact with an intelligent alien civilization inhabited by hominids mostly hairless than with an eight-eyed cephalopod civilization. But this possibility is not entirely ruled out, as astrobiologist Charles Kokel claimed. Empirical evidence suggests that certain characteristics of life are deterministically guided by physical laws. It is reasonable to believe that at all levels of its structural hierarchy, extraterrestrial life will look remarkably similar to life on Earth. Could our genes have an intelligently designed seal of producers written in eons earlier somewhere else in our galaxy? Such a design label would be an indelible stamp of a masterful alien civilization that preceded us many millions or billions of years. As their final heritage, they reshaped the Milky Way in their own biological image. Scientists have added, when corrected, meaning the DNA, the code can remain unchanged in cosmological time frames. In fact, it is the most durable known construction. Therefore, it is an extremely reliable warehouse for intelligent signatures. Once the genome has been properly transcribed, the new signature code will remain frozen in the cell and its progeny, which could then be delivered through space and time. We know so little about the origin of life on Earth that it seems presumed to identify a genetic structure that supposedly defies natural explanation. Even the discovery of life elsewhere in the solar system would not provide an independent test of this idea, even though the genetic code is ultimately considered the handprint of an alien great designer. Who then designed the designer?